Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Broken Roads with me, Bring It Dawn. Let's continue exploring Lake Deborah. The sprinkler system is ingenious, but likely impossible anywhere else. Handful of potatoes. Howdy, stranger. G'day. Man stops raking as you approach. So, how's it all going? This place is incredible. Yep. Closest thing to a living miracle I've ever seen. Look around you, mate. This is paradise. So you believe in miracles? He laughs at the question. Not exactly. Not exactly. More a turn of phrase. Like sunsets, rainbows, first light of dawn kind of thing. They're not what people understand as miracles, but they give you that sense of something greater, you know? And that's what appeals to me about this place. I like what Brandon has to say about us being a part of all this. He gestures towards the gardens. The way God is nature and we are part of nature. That I was born of this, and when I die, I'll become this. So yeah, not to get all philosophical right off the bat, but this is what I believe, and this is what makes me totally fine with whatever eventualities will befall me. And that's why I call this place a living miracle. Thanks for all the information. I don't even know your name yet. So you agree with Brennan's worldview then? Oh, not entirely, no. He looks to the sky for a few seconds, as if planning his words. We align where it matters, starting with an idea that life is what you make of it. He takes some things a fair bit further than me. He taps a blue band on the rim of his hat. And we don't see eye to eye on some of his ideas, but it seems to work for the people here. He goes quiet a moment, then shrugs. Yeah, we've known each other a long time. A long time. There's more than enough common ground, thankfully, and our disagreements don't get in each other's way. What were you pointing to on your hat? He laughs. This little bit of symbolism is a sign of the everlasting. Just a circle and some dots on blue fabric, I reckon. But it matters to the community, so I wear it. Bothered me when Brendan first came up with it. That's when it started to worry me he might be thinking of himself as some new messiah. But things didn't reach that point, thankfully. You in charge of the grounds here? Something like that, yes. He smiles broadly. My little project has become quite spectacular over the years. Feel free to help yourself. Don't make a mess of things, and take only as much as you need. But as you can see, there's plenty to go around. I've never seen so much water. Yeah, very few have. It's a blessing, if you're into that kind of thinking. Our own little miracle. What have you got for trade? A hat. Got any work I can help with? Well, not right now, but thanks, mate. Bye-bye. Enjoy yourself, mate. Oh, let's not do that yet. This hand crank contraption is in surprisingly good nick. This heavyset man looks up from the machine and calls out as you approach. Hey, Doug. Doug Hurley. Wanted to personally welcome you to Lake Deborah and our little community here. His gruff tone and the less than friendly glare are at odds with what he's saying. Word of advice. Don't expect the old man's warm welcome from everyone else. It's a good spot we've built here, so don't mess it up. You always this warm and friendly? Yep, a regular ray of sunshine. So, what do you want? What powers this lift? Heh, that'd be me, You, or whoever's riding it, plus pulleys, gears, and elbow grease. What are you working on? I'm doing some fixes on the gears here, but she's still working. Just step on and use the pulleys. I noticed the place isn't particularly well fortified. You're telling me? We lost a good bloke the last time we were attacked. Brennan doesn't give a crap. Kid was carried off to God knows where, and the old man is fine with it. Sure, we can see for miles from up there, but that's not worth much at night, or if nobody's been primed to pay attention. You said a child was taken away. Yeah, nah. I say kid, but he's probably early 20s. Gabe. Tough guy with a gun, till a horde of drop bears overwhelmed him. You hear the poor bastard screaming as they dragged him away. Avoidable tragedy, mate. Avoidable tragedy. What did the guards do? Everything they could. Jeff was near the silo, Kai was asleep. Was over in seconds. He stops himself a moment. They were gone with Gabe in seconds. That's terrible. I'm with you there, mate. What would have happened if Brendan listened to us? He shakes his head again. The old man's not doing enough to keep this place secure. Plain and simple. I'll see you later. Uh-huh. Good day. Let's go back and talk to this guy again. Hello again, mate. So, how's it all going? Alright, let's head up top. Where do you want to go? Let's... Oh, we're already here. But I wanted to gray out the dialogue. Alright, work our way up. Let's go to the middle level. That's neat. It wasn't a loading screen. It says Lockies Workshop. I guess it could have said Lucky's. No, but it's Locky. Seems like Brooke uses his device to grind glass. Ladder leads up to Locky's room. Locky's locker looks locked. An impressive collection of tools, including an axe that looks like it might never have been used to kill someone. Crazy as that sounds. As if it wasn't hot enough already. Oi, I saw you guys during the ceremony. You joining up or moving on? Just checking everything out for now. Sure you are. Most of the blow-ins who say that end up staying, mate. This place is pretty incredible. Bloody oath. Strong agreement. All of us got our bums in the butter living here. Brennan wants me to meet everyone here. Oh, you must be serious about staying then, eh? We'll see. I can't think of better places, mate. What do you do around here? What do I do? I'm usually doing whatever I tell her to do. Yeah, screw that noise, Lockie. She faces you again. I'm his apprentice, because he was here first. Because that's what he calls someone who does all the crap he doesn't want to do. Or sorry, want to. Wait, let me... He exaggerates looking around the room. What's this? This is... Yes. This is my workshop. Actually, I think it even says it on the door. Lockies Workshop. And that makes you Lockie's apprentice. And there you have it. So I'm not taking crap from Lockie. I'm in here working on whatever the community needs. Have you got anything to trade? Not at the moment. And when I do, I normally head down to Meriden for that. Danny usually has a few things. You could try him. Goodbye. Have a good one. Good day, mate. Let me guess. Brennan got you meeting all the crew. Wish everything ran as clockwork as he does. The man has a beaming smile, his tone conveying a good-natured sarcasm. I'm Lockie, that's Brooke. Be good people, we'll be good people, and that's really about it. Can you improve my weapons? Sure. What do you want to upgrade? Revolvers. Righto. Which one? This revolver. Sure. 5 scrap and $80 should do it. Decline. Suit yourself. I want to trade. A silicone sealant. Keep your solar panels crack-free on those windy days. You able to make me some new weapons? Sure, sure. What you thinking? Can you make me a makeshift saw weapon? Gonna need some rope, a saw blade, a pipe wrench, 5 bits of scrap, and $100 for something sharper. Can you make me a makeshift pipe wrench? Gonna need some rope, nails, a pipe wrench, 5 bits of scrap, and $100 for that. I'll catch you later. So I'm guessing the saw weapon is like what Mad has. And I don't know if there's a way for me to upgrade. Let me try something. I wish your companions had more interactivity and conversations. They rarely chime in, and you can't upgrade her stuff. So we need to go to the library to speak to that woman. Check out over here first. Right. Lots of stuff to look at. The ladder leads up to Mira and Doug's private quarters. You flip through Being and Nothingness by Jean-Paul Sartre, or Sartre? A man is condemned to be free, because once thrown into the world, he's responsible for everything he does. Man can will do nothing unless he has first understood that he must count on no one but himself, that he is alone, abandoned on earth in the midst of his infinite responsibilities, without help, with no other aim than the one he sets himself, with no other destiny than the one he forges for himself on this earth. Put the book down. You flip through Essays on Diderot, by University of Woolloomooloo Press. We swallow greedily any lie that flatters us, but we sip only little by little at a truth we find bitter. Man will never be free till the last king is strangled with the entrails of the last priest. Put the book down. You flip through Essays on Wittgenstein by University of Woolloomooloo Press. Whereof one cannot speak, thereof one must be silent. Philosophy is like trying to open a safe with a combination lock. Each little adjustment of the dial seems to achieve nothing. Only when everything is in place does the door open. Put the book down. You flip through The Social Contract by Jean-Jacques Rousseau. There is often a great deal of difference between the will of all and the general will. There is no man so bad that he cannot be made good for something. No man should be put to death, even as an example, if he can be left to live without danger to society. Put the book down. I actually read that one. Or at least, excerpts from it. I don't remember now. It's been a while. You flip through The Problems of Philosophy by Bertrand Russell. Has the universe any unity of plan or purpose? Or is it a fortuitous concourse of atoms? Is consciousness a permanent part of the universe, giving hope of indefinite growth and wisdom? Or is it a transitory accident on a small planet on which life must ultimately become impossible? Are good and evil of importance to the universe, or only to man? Philosophy, though unable to tell us with certainty what is the true answer to the doubts which it raises, is able to suggest many possibilities which enlarge our thoughts and free them from the tyranny of custom. Put the book down. You flip through an essay concerning human understanding by Jean Locke. We can find out what the scope of the understanding is, how far it is able to achieve certainty, and in what cases it can only judge and guess. That may teach us to accept our limitations and to rest content, with knowing only what our human condition enables us to know. Wasn't sure if they were saying content or content at first. And the emphasis on the E changes. Also changes the definition. One unerring mark of the love of truth is not entertaining any proposition with greater assurance than the proofs it is built upon will warrant. Put the book down. I have read excerpts from that as well. You flip through collected writings of Ibn Sina by the Australian Outback Appreciation Society. Is it the fault of wine if a fool drinks it and goes stumbling into darkness? Width of life is more important than length of life. Put the book down. You flip through Buddha for Those in a Hurry by Dr. Brett Bentley. To be idle is a short road to death, and to be diligent is a way of life. Foolish people are idle, wise people are diligent. We are what we think. All that we are arises with our thoughts. With our thoughts, we make the world. Put the book down. You flip through a contemporary critique of Aristotle by University of Woolloomooloo Press. He who is unable to live in society, or has no need because he is sufficient for himself, must be either a beast or a god. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Put the book down. Theoretical paper. The text explores the Gaunt factor in relation to Bremsstrahlung emission. There was... The woman in Southern Cross was investigating that. Or researching it. Maybe this is her benefactor. Talia Jordan. Hi and welcome to Lake Deborah. I'm Talia. She speaks purposefully, with eloquence and confidence, and a smile which makes you feel immediately at ease. How many of these books have you actually read? Most of them. Don't forget we've been here for years, collected them for years, and had just as long to read them. Mira too. You've seen what this place is like. I don't know of anywhere else in the world which affords its people as much idle time. Hope you're visiting our library is an indication of an inquiring mind, as we get a lot out of it. Pursuits of the mind, the literal love of knowledge, tracing the history of thought back millennia. These books bring us a lot of joy. Could always have more though, she says the last with a smile. I get the feeling you'd like my help in acquiring even more books. That obvious, huh? She beams with an enthusiastic smile. But yeah, it would be amazing if you could help our little project here. Some that come to mind are The Metaphysics of Morals by Immanuel Kant and The Will to Power by Friedrich Nietzsche. Now, these two are pretty influential works that I'm embarrassed to say I've not yet tracked down. We had both of those, I thought. But really, just keep an eye out for any books that you think might fit in here. Better you bring back duplicates of what I already have, than we risk missing out. Have a look around the shelves to get a feel for what we're after. I found some of those books you're after. Excellent. That makes such a great addition to the library. I'm really looking forward to talking about them. And if you find any more, you know where to bring them. It's about all those books. Now, which one caught your eye? Can you remind me which books you still want me to find? We're not too big on fiction for the most part. Anything to do with philosophy, and I'd love to have a look at it. Even if we have it already. Already read that. Spinoza's Ethics. Ah, one of the primary humanist texts, and a major influence on Brennan. You should ask him about that one. Thanks a lot for finding this one. It underpins many of the precepts central to our community. I've only had a chance to read about it until now. Descartes' Meditations on First Philosophy. This is one we had a long time ago, and lost it actually. One of those borrowed but never returned sad stories. Great to have this in the library again, so thank you. Mira's a big fan. You should definitely talk to her about it. Kierkegaard's The Present Moment. Okay, a complex beast this one. Very open to interpretation, and straddling the line between humanism, existentialism, and nihilism. As a man of faith, Kierkegaard was far from a nihilist, and only had some overlap with the humanist worldview. The topics covered. You notice her eyes light up as she gets to the heart of it. The subjective human experience, considering our choices as meaningful and significant, and an emphasis on being an authentic self. These are prevalent in the schools of thought that he influenced, and of those who oppose him. Depending on who you ask, it could simply be a summary of how people saw the world centuries ago, or a treatise on living as an authentic individual through the lens of Christian existentialism. You ask someone else, that's about accepting responsibility for one's actions, being definitive with your choices, focusing on your place in the here and now. Hi, Machiavelli's Discourses on Livy. Oh, Machiavelli. She shakes her head. Misunderstood by many, and so often misquoted. You know, he never actually said that the ends justify the means. Discourses on Livy is a thorough look at how one can, or can't, for that matter, manage political power to maintain a stable republic. Definitely not applicable everywhere, but thought-provoking nonetheless. Plato's Republic. Wow, what a treasure that is. Morality, governance, perception versus reality in Plato's cave. She shakes her head as she describes it. He covers so much. The idea of the philosopher king, how wisdom and the pursuit of knowledge should inform leadership. And of course, his vision of a perfect state. Well, theoretically perfect anyway. You know, it's great to have it again. We had a copy which disappeared ages ago. Some former member of the community said the ideas in the book were too dangerous to have around. I find that kind of thinking way more dangerous. A critical mind doesn't need to fear objectionable ideas. Bye, Talia. Bye for now. Whew, that's a lot of reading. So, we had those other books she was after. Hello again. What's on your mind? What did you mean by critical thinking? I think a lot of people could use this definition. It's a process of analyzing information, forming beliefs, doubting assumptions, and being aware of or avoiding logical errors. It helps us make sound arguments, be better judges of what we're told, and of course, what we say. It's an important part of intellectual honesty. All honesty, in my opinion. Alternative perspectives are essential. Blind faith is dangerous, and tough as it may be, emotion must be secondary to reason. Critical thinking keeps us in check. It takes more effort, sure, but it pays off. You sound like you take philosophy pretty seriously. Well, that's accurate. This has become my passion and my purpose. These are not just interesting ideas to while away for a few idle hours. Plus, she shows that familiar smile again. I just don't want these ideas to fade away. I truly believe people need to learn to think properly, to have a solid foundation for their beliefs, and a breadth of knowledge with which to analyze and critique ideas. A lack of critical thinking can be very dangerous. Yes, it can. I've got some more questions about philosophy. Sure. I'm always happy to dive into these ideas. It makes sense that she has so much to say about this since this game is built around, well, 4 major philosophies. What did you mean by learn to think properly? To think critically, to have a solid foundation for their beliefs, and a breadth of knowledge with which to analyze and critique ideas, mindful of flaws in their reasoning. I would like to learn more about critical thinking, actually. Oh, that's great. Great. It's hit and miss with the newcomers. I've got as much time as you have. But what do humanism and nihilism have in common? A good question. I find this one really interesting, as people often think they're opposites, but they're actually closely related. You see, a nihilist's lack of belief in objective right or wrong doesn't prevent them from understanding that other beings can experience pain and suffering. Likewise, they're not ignorant of potential retaliation, punishment, or whatever else if they behave like antisocial dummies. Humanism has some similarities with nihilism as a result. Humanists don't need a higher power, nor do they need to believe in any kind of objective right or wrong to have a moral code to live by. It's basically about treating everyone with dignity and respect, caring when you can, and well, just not being a jerk, in short. Actually, I wanted to ask about another area of philosophy. Fire away. What do Machiavellianism and nihilism have in common? Okay, that's an interesting one because both perspectives can be seen as emphasizing a certain amount of moral relativism and rejecting absolute moral principles. Hold on. What is moral relativism? Oh, that's a view that moral judgments are not universally objective, but instead depend on cultural, societal, or individual perspectives. It holds that what is morally right or wrong can vary from one context or belief system to another, and there is no absolute or universal moral standard. I took a course on this in university. It was called the, what's it called? The Search for Moral Truth or something like that. It was just we discussed a lot what, if there's any objective moral truth or not. That's what it boiled down to. Okay, that makes sense. What else? Oh, actually, let's do this first. What do you mean by absolute moral principles? Probably the best way to think of those as if they were rules, or guiding principles that can be applied universally, such as what Kant was going for with the categorical imperative. Learn about that too. I wish we had a copy of Kant's Metaphysics and Morals so you could read more. Okay, that makes sense. What else? Well, Machiavellianism is often associated with the idea that the ends justify the means, while nihilism can be seen as rejecting any inherent meaning or value in human existence. Both Machiavellianism, it's a hard word to say, and nihilism are kind of cynical or pessimistic in their views of human nature and society. At the same time, though, it's important to remember that nihilists come in all shapes and sizes, and it's possible to be a nihilist who behaves nothing like a Machiavellian. Alright, Wittgenstein said that whereof one cannot speak, thereof one must be silent. Yes, I do know, because I've also read that book. She smiles and points to the bookshelf. Look, I also said a serious and good philosophical work can be written consisting entirely of jokes. So yeah. How do you know all this? Well, look around you. I have a lot of books, and a lot of time. Let's put the philosophy aside for a moment. No worries. Bye, Talia. Whew, that was a lot of reading. A lot of stumbles, too. Hey, thanks for all those books you tracked down. Man, my eyes are... everything's blurring together. That was really impressive. Give me more to read. And Talia is pretty over the moon about it. You recognize a slim, bespectacled woman you met at the gates. She greets you with a quick wave as you approach. Hello again. In case you're not good with names, I'm Mira Calder. So, where did you lot come in from? We're from Brookton, but based in Meriden now. And you've been able to get into the city. Or they had such an influx of hungry mouths they've had to close up the gates and restrict entry. You must be pretty resourceful. Well, Brennan wants me to meet everyone, so I'm just saying good day. The old man is consistent, I'll give him that. Let me shortcut through some of the BS. Don't beg for answers. Don't be a smart aleck. Had this merchant from Westonia some time back. Brought in fantastic supplies, would have been a great fit for this place. Problem is, he was a bit too proud to prove himself, and well, he doesn't come around here anymore. What can you tell me about work? Just that it's a big deal to the old man, and that pretty much everyone here is already giving it their all. No more on the subject of work then. Not really. There's a million other subjects I find more interesting. Yeah, just look around. She motions towards the bookshelves. This takes a different kind of work entirely. About Westonia. We've been there. The place was destroyed. Tell Mira the story. She listens as you describe what you saw. She stands still and quiet as you recount the horror of the dead bodies. Just strewn in a pile. Her voice is low, almost inaudible. Abandoned and undignified. She shakes her head slowly, sadly, as you finish the tale. Those poor people. Those poor, poor people. This world. She clears her throat sharply before carrying on. This world is not what it used to be. We thought it had already completely gone to crap, and it still finds ways of getting worse. She turns to Talia. This is what I'm talking about. We've only got Kai and Jeff. No way. She sighs, turning back to you. Well, thanks for letting us know. We need to do more. We all need to do more to secure this place. Got time to talk Discardies? Definitely. What do you think of First Meditations? I already forgot what we read about it. It's pretty convincing. Too right. There's a reason we suggest people start there if they're going down this path. Gets their gears turning for sure. I reckon for most people, they've been turning all along, just ignored. I can't tell you how many people I've seen this book be that first spark for a fire that never goes out. But anyway, it did make you question something at least. So yeah, but I shut that down pretty fast. Yeah, it made me question everything. Fabulous. The hooks are in. She grins, eyes wide with excitement. Welcome to Cartesian Doubt. Come in, the water's warm. This is the most jubilant you have seen her. Now that we've got you questioning everything, let's see what we can be certain about. She taps her chin, still smiling. Okay, I know. Can you not even be certain that something exists which is experiencing this uncertainty? Well, obviously, I can be certain about that. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. She's quite animated, evidently pleased with this little breakthrough. So, even if we start from scratch trying to answer the question, what can we really know? We have a foundation to work from. We can really examine our beliefs, and then start to build out knowledge we're confident in. Then, with this little foundation of self-evident beliefs, we can begin to expand our knowledge through rigorous methods of inquiry. And of course, critical thinking. Of course. She smiles despite Talia's interruption. So, by examining beliefs systematically, testing them against evidence, and refining our understanding, we can build a knowledge structure that's not just confident, but also justified and reliable. It's about being meticulous in our scrutiny, and open to refining our views as we gather more insight and evidence. Now, you see that what matters is not just what you believe, but why you believe it. Alright, which one of these do I like more? So the why matters because it shapes our actions, it can make life better for everyone. Believing in things that promote compassion and meaning is what counts. And the why behind our beliefs matters because it influences the consequences of our actions. If our beliefs make life better for lots of people, that's a good thing. I feel like they're very similar. We go with option 2. the humanist. Well, that's noble, but it's kind of missing the point. As in, I'm more talking about having justification for your beliefs. Look, at least you showed a little bit of thought there. Not everyone even gets that far. Not requiring evidence and not applying reason when formulating beliefs is at best foolish and at worst downright dangerous. So I think she wanted me to say the knowledge one, which I thought about doing, but I was trying to lean more into my moral compass since it doesn't come up that often. The point Descartes was making with this radical doubt is ensuring that we claim to know is grounded in sound reasoning and supported by the best available evidence. And honestly, I think we'd have avoided a lot of bullcrap in the past if more people thought this way. Thanks. I've had a chance to run through the first meditations in some time. I've enjoyed this. How long have you been here? Oh, must be about 10 years, give or take. Long time for a small place, but we're happy here. How come you have so much water here? Equal parts good fortune and miracle, I reckon. There's a lot of life still out there, especially beneath us. There's some here who think all this physical world, is all there is. I believe we're far, far too blessed for only this. This your library? Well, it's our library, but this is my home, yes. Doug and I live up there. He glances towards the upper level. Talia and I keep this place in order. Know who's borrowed what, that sort of thing. Where did you get all these books? I've been slowly collecting them over the years. Started with a couple, then it became a bit of a fascination. A hobby as well as an essential part of who we are. Alright, bye. Yes, goodbye. Whew, again, a lot of reading. A lot of stumbling, but we got through it in the end. Because the more I read, the faster I want to read, because I'm naturally a fast reader. And to read out loud, I have to purposely slow myself down. And so I start reading too quickly, and start filling in blanks before I get to them, because my mind is working faster than my mouth is. Alright, I'm going to call it here, and next time I guess we'll head up top. We need to go back and talk to a couple people about their philosophies. Brennan was one of them, and the other one I think was Denny, I believe. And then I need to remember where I sold those books. I'm pretty sure we found the 2 books they really wanted. Real quick. So we could probably get them in Southern Cross. I know I've sold him a couple books because he wanted books. What's his name? Anthony something. I know his last name changes between his model and the sign on the door. But yeah, so I guess we're going to get tested on our knowledge of the people in Lake Deborah. So we're going to... Before we speak to Brennan, I should probably head back down and speak to this other guy. Let's go park beside him so I don't forget. Alright, I'm gonna call it here. Next time we'll speak to Denny, then head up and talk to Brennan, and maybe pass the test. But for now, thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one.